Hey guys, welcome back to another Skyrim mods video. Today I got some of my must-have quality of life Skyrim mods, or really just game-changing mods in my opinion. So if you're into finding a mod that you like, make sure to hit that like button down below, and also don't forget to endorse said mod author. With that being said, let's dive right in. My first up mod today for must-have in my opinion is the mod Helmet Toggle, the second version. This mod allows for you to unequip your helmet and put it on your hip. But when you first install this mod, it won't originally work, or at least not show up. To make it appear on your hips, you'll have to push backspace for Immersive Equipment Display, click on View, and then click on Custom Items, then click on a preset and load your Helmet Toggle preset. It comes with the mod once you install it, and boom, you're pretty much good to go. And even though this helmet will show as on your hip and your head will be pretty much free to look however you want it to look, the helmet will still count as being equipped, so any enchantments and armor rating that goes for the helmet will still apply to your character. The helmet equip function and unequipped is dynamic at base, basing on if you're near a safe space such as cities, interiors, or you'll actually start to equip the helmet if you start getting near enemy areas like bandits or pretty much anything that will kill you. This mask works for lowering hoods, equipping helmets on your hip, as well as unequipping Dragon Priest mask. The only downside is that unless that mod for the hood has a lowered version, you'll never really get to see the hood in a lowered form. It'll just basically unequipped and then be invisible. So if you happen to be using Read the Room, make sure you use this mod instead. Up next, for a complete immersive and survival overhaul, you want to have Simple Hunting Overhaul by J Serpa, allowing you for two options after you finish hunting an animal. You can either interact with it, and then once you interact with it, you can either take their pelt, which will make time skip forward, and then leave them skinless, or you can pick them up. But just like the previous mod, picking it up won't actually show the corpse, so you'll need a mod like Carry Your Carcasses, and then you just go to View Custom Items like you did with the previous helmet mod, and then click Load the preset, and you'll start to see animals over your character's shoulder. But if you don't want to go the route of carrying the animal, like I said, you can just skin them. And there's a skinless version for pretty much every animal in Skyrim, from wolves to elks to even, if you have a mod for them, bears, but it won't show up as Bears of the North, which I'm currently using, but it does have a patch for it. You can even skin saber cats. But the thing about skinning an animal before you sell it is the fact that you can no longer pick it up. It'll just be stuck there, left to decay, or for any animal to have a free meal, I guess. But you also can't pick up the item if the animal happens to be too heavy. But the heaviness typically depends on how much your carry weight is. Like some animals have a 400 carry weight, but most of them you can end up carrying into cities. And I definitely recommend grabbing Immersive Carcass carrying for new animations, as well as removing the speed penalty that is applied when you pick up an animal. Now you'll be able to run around like a true Nord. Once you have the animal, you want to take it to any meat shop that you can really think of that sells meat. They'll take the animal as long as the pelt is still on it. They'll have a new custom dialogue that only applies once you take the animal and bring it to them. If you don't currently have an animal in your inventory, then the dialogue won't show up. But there are also animals that they won't take, such as wolves or skeevers. For some reason, they do not like them. And for just a little bit of extra immersion, you can also, if the horse has enough carry weight, place the animal on the horse and it will show up along with your character when you start riding it. But you do need a mod that lets you open up your horse's inventory. Oh, and be careful. If you're caught hunting without a hunter's permit, which does cost, and you only can buy it after you get caught, then you'll be taken to jail and kicked out of the city. Another one of my favorite mods, this mod is called Road Signs Fast Travel. This mod uses Base Object Swapper to allow you to use any mod added and vanilla road signs to fast travel to cities. This works great if you have a mod that disables fast travel. It basically still allows you to do it, but with some requirement. Each time you will be required to spend some type of money to travel based on the selections that you selected. It can be free, but the prices does change based on the distance that you are trying to travel. And the great part about this, because it uses Base Object Swapper, and because Luxvia adds so many road signs and interactions like this, it's also compatible with it. And at a cooking spit, it also adds a new item that you can go and craft, which is traveling supplies, which will be needed for fast traveling if you turn it on. But at base in the MCM, it is turned off, but you can configure everything about this mod and make it as hardcore as you want it. This next mod though, it's pretty new compared to the other mods. This mod is called Dynamic Candles, Blow Them Out. This mod will allow you to walk up any candle inside of interiors or even in exteriors and actually turn them off, or you can actually turn them back on. And because these are light sources, if you want a dark interior, you can go around and turn off every single candle that is in the interior, and then turn them back on when you're ready for it to be bright again. I think an add-on for this mod would be great if NPCs had an interaction to you turning off their candles after they took so long to light them, but it's pretty immersive as it is already. I recommend combining this with dynamic torches. It does the same almost. But speaking of fires, this next mod does something similar called Fire Ignites Arrows and also bolts. This mod lets you hold your bow once you're about to fire it, or your bolt once you're about to fire it over any static flame, none that is created, and you'll be able to light your arrow on fire. At base, nothing is required for this to be done, and if you hold it for too long, your arrow can start to break unfortunately, but if you fire it in time, enemies will be set on fire. One thing I did notice is that this doesn't work on torches, but it also doesn't work on fire lamps. Once you shoot them down, you also can't set your arrow on fire. But if you want to add extra requirements to this mod, you can also craft flammable arrow wrap, and once that's in your inventory, you can light as many arrows as you want before firing at them. Now fixing a vanilla issue with poisoning arrows in Skyrim. Now with this mod called Poison Arrows and Bolts, you'll no longer have to poison one arrow at a time. Now you can poison as many arrows that you have, and a new item will be placed in your inventory, and equipping these arrows will allow you to fire them at enemies, so you can have as many poisoned arrows as you want without running out. Up next, a mod just as simple as the previous mod. This mod is called Pick Up the Bones Base Object Swapper, allowing you to find skeletons that are dead, or after you kill them again, pick up their bones, and once you have their bones in their inventory, you can take them to a grain mill, which requires you to download the optional file, but at base, you'll have to take them to any smelter around Skyrim, and once you go to the smelter, all you have to do is interact with it and then find the bones that you can smelt down and then turn it into bone meal. The next must-have mod, at least for people simple like me, is lockpicking for barbarians. No longer will you have to spend hours or at least dozens of lockpicks trying to unlock a case. You'll just now have to power attack that chest or door to unlock it, but it's based on how much stamina or how much two-handed skill you have, depending on the lock level. It'll go up every single level, but unfortunately doing this is considered a crime because you can do it on locked doors inside of cities. But there are limitations placed on this mod for balancing reasons, like you can't forcefully unlock doors that require keys, those won't work, and you also can't light attack, you have to power attack to unlock the chest, otherwise it won't work. This mod does work for two-handed weapons, one-handed weapons, and you can also do it with unarmed. But to do it with unarmed skill, you do need heavy armor, and I figured it would be one-handed skill, so here's 10 seconds of me forcefully trying to unlock a door like Batman, but failing every single hit for some reason. Make sure you read the mod page. Up next, a mod making you feel bad for winning a fight. This mod is called Shame of Skyrim. Every time that you win a fight or kill an enemy, or based on when that enemy spawns, they'll have a chance of spawning with a new letter in their inventory, and based on how you install it, you can either choose for these notes to spawn after you kill the NPC, or for the notes to spawn as soon as the NPC appears on your screen. All the notes are already written, there isn't AI involved with this, but there are dozens upon dozens of notes that you can find, and you can find these notes on pretty much any non-unique NPC, such as Vigilant Astendar, or even bandits, but Vigilant Astendar kind of really make you feel bad for killing them. But you can also kill people and find notes on not so innocent people, such as the Silver Hand, or even soldiers in the war, but most of those soldiers generally have kids waiting for them at home, and they have notes letting you know that, so it's pretty sad killing them. But I guess that's just part of war. And if you get a chance, my favorite notes are definitely the ones from the Forsworn, because they generally talk in like a Hulk type manner of speech broken up, but it's pretty funny. It's also a little weird. Imagine killing a whole camp of people to find one note that has a one-liner joke on it. It kind of makes you wonder, was it all worth it? But the main reason I recommend this mod is so that it seems like every NPC has a life before you came around. And for the final mod of today, and the newest one of this list, this mod is called Shouts of Stallholders. This mod does exactly what the title suggests. It gives Stallholders new dialogues that they can shout at the player dynamically, and they'll kind of start saying it all around the same time.
Someone you can trust. I mean, just look at this guy.
Only a mere 20 gold coins, and all this
Could be yours.
Kit yourself out for the fight. Check out Grelka's quality goods here.
Every stallholder will have their own custom lines based on what they sell and the time of day. This mod is pretty customizable, but it doesn't come with the MCM. If you don't want a certain market stall yelling at you, you can go in the INI file and add the NPC's name, and they'll no longer use the new yells. But that was pretty much it for today, guys. I wanted to focus this video on mods that I find game changing to me, or just mods that just kind of stuck with me once I downloaded them. But like I said, that was it, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to endorse mod authors. Peace and love, guys.